Hey thrill seekers! Today we're uncovering a charming village packed with spine-tingling secrets. Can three friends escape Eldergrove's haunting rituals and restless spirits, or will they become part of its chilling legend? Let's dive in. The summer sun hung low in the sky as three friends Liam, Sarah, and Tom set out on a road trip to escape the mundane routine of their lives. They were filled with excitement and anticipation, eager to explore the unknown. The winding roads of the countryside beckoned them, lined with tall trees and wildflowers swaying gently in the breeze. As the hours passed, they laughed and shared stories, the car filled with the warmth of friendship. However, when Liam decided to take a spontaneous detour in search of a scenic viewpoint, they soon found themselves on an unfamiliar path. "This doesn't look right," Sarah remarked, peering at the landscape through the window. The trees grew denser, shadows stretching ominously as the sunlight began to fade. "Relax. It's just an adventure," Liam replied, his enthusiasm unshaken. Tom shrugged, his eyes darting nervously from the road to the encroaching woods. "I hope we don't end up lost," he said, his voice laced with concern. Just then, they spotted a signpost that read "Welcome to Eldergrove." It was a quaint village, with cobblestone streets and rustic houses, but there was something unsettling about its appearance. It didn't exist on any map they had consulted. The vibrant flowers adorned the gardens, and smoke curled from chimneys, painting an idyllic picture. As they parked the car, a sense of unease crept over them, but the warm smiles of the locals dispelled some of their worries. An elderly woman approached, her face weathered yet kind. "Welcome, travelers. We rarely see newcomers. Come, let us show you our village." Liam, Sarah, and Tom exchanged glances, their initial apprehension fading under the warmth of the villagers' hospitality. They were led through winding streets, with locals waving cheerfully and sharing snippets of village life. Children played merrily, and the aroma of home-cooked meals wafted through the air. "This place is charming," Sarah said, her eyes sparkling. "It feels like stepping back in time." As the sun dipped below the horizon, the atmosphere shifted. The villagers began to prepare for something. A soft tension hung in the air, barely noticeable at first, but it grew as darkness enveloped the village. Tom noticed the shadows lengthening, the friendly faces turning serious. "Maybe we should find somewhere to stay for the night," Tom suggested, glancing at the darkening sky. "Oh, don't worry about that," the old woman chimed in. "You're welcome to stay at my home. There's always room for travelers here." Reluctantly, they accepted her offer, settling into a cozy guest room filled with handmade quilts and wooden furniture. However, as the night deepened, the friends couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. A chill crept into the room, and Sarah pulled the blanket tighter around her. "Do you guys feel that?" she whispered. Tom nodded, his brow furrowed. "It's a little too quiet, isn't it?" Liam, ever the skeptic, shrugged. "It's just a small village. We're probably just not used to it." Later that night, while the villagers gathered for an evening feast, the friends joined them, hoping to ease their unease. The atmosphere felt festive, but as they began to eat, Liam noticed a group of villagers whispering in hushed tones, their eyes darting toward him and his friends. "Did you see that?" Liam whispered to Sarah and Tom, nodding subtly toward the group. "Maybe they're just curious," Sarah replied, trying to dismiss his concern. As the night wore on, they heard faint whispers outside, drifting through the open windows. Curious, they stepped outside to investigate, leaving the warmth of the gathering behind. What they found sent chills down their spines. Ghostly figures drifted among the trees, their forms flickering in the moonlight. The whispers grew louder, filled with sorrowful lamentations, resonating with an eerie sadness. "Guys, we need to go back inside," Tom urged, his voice shaking. No way. We can't just ignore this, Liam insisted, captivated by the haunting spectacle. What if these are the spirits of the village? Spirits? Come on, Liam. This is insane, Sarah replied, panic rising in her voice. Before they could turn back, the ghostly figures began to move closer, their faces contorted in pain. The friends felt an overwhelming sense of dread wash over them, the weight of something ancient pressing down on their chests. Suddenly, a villager appeared, his expression grave. "You shouldn't be out here," he warned, glancing nervously at the spirits. "The night holds many secrets." "What's going on?" Liam demanded, his curiosity outweighing his fear. The villager hesitated, glancing back at the gathering before finally speaking. "The village is bound by a pact or ritual that requires us to appease the spirits. Each year we must offer something to keep them at bay." "What do you mean by offer?" Sarah asked, her heart racing. The villager's eyes darkened. "A sacrifice. A traveler. It's the only way to keep the village safe." Realization struck like a cold blade. The villagers had been kind, but their friendliness masked a sinister truth. They were not just welcoming guests, they were choosing their next victim. As panic surged through them, Liam, Sarah, and Tom turned to flee. They sprinted back toward the guest house, but the shadows seemed to twist and contort, blocking their path. The whispers grew louder, echoing in their minds, urging them to stop. "Don't let them take you," the villager shouted, but it was too late. The spirits surged forward, their ghostly forms reaching for the friends. In a desperate bid for survival, they raced through the village, the ancient houses looming like watchful sentinels. The echoes of their footsteps were drowned out by the wails of the spirits behind them. "Where do we go?" Tom cried, fear etched on his face. "Follow me," Liam shouted, leading them toward the edge of the village where the trees thickened. The whispers transformed into shrieks, the spirits' anguish palpable in the air. As they broke through the tree line, they stumbled into the woods, the darkness wrapping around them like a shroud. They ran blindly, branches snagging at their clothes, their lungs burning as they gasped for breath. "We can't stop," Sarah panted. "We have to keep moving." But as they pressed on, the forest seemed to close in around them. The path grew narrower, and they could hear the spirits closing in, their cries blending with the wind. It was as if the very woods were conspiring to trap them. Finally, they spotted a clearing ahead. In the center stood an ancient stone altar, overgrown with vines and moss. The friends hesitated, realizing this was likely the site of the village's dark ritual. "We have to do something," Liam said, desperate for a plan. "Maybe if we destroy the altar, we can break the village's curse." Tom nodded, his eyes wide with determination. "It's worth a shot." Together they approached the altar, each step heavy with dread. As they reached it, the spirits surged into the clearing, swirling around them like a tempest of anguish. The friends could feel the cold fingers of the past reaching for them, trying to pull them into the depths of despair. With a surge of adrenaline, Liam grabbed a heavy stone and raised it above his head. "On 3, he shouted. 1, 2, 3. He brought the stone crashing down onto the altar, sending shards of stone flying. The moment it shattered, a blinding light erupted, illuminating the clearing and dispersing the spirits' swirling forms. Their anguished cries transformed into wails of release as they were freed from the altar's curse. As the light faded, the friends found themselves alone in the clearing. The oppressive weight lifted, leaving them breathless and shaken. They had broken the cycle, but at a cost. Stumbling back toward the village, they found it eerily quiet. The villagers, once friendly, now stood frozen, their expressions a mix of fear and gratitude. They realized their pact had been broken, the spirits no longer haunting them. Liam, Sarah, and Tom made their way back to the road, their hearts still racing. They had escaped the forgotten village, but the memories of that night would linger forever, a haunting reminder of what lay hidden beneath the surface. As they drove away, the village faded from view, swallowed by the trees. The sun began to rise on the horizon, casting a golden light over the world, but the shadows of Eldergrove remained etched in their minds, a place of isolation, folklore, and the chilling reminder that some secrets should never be uncovered.